What's going on, everybody? This is Ultimate iDevice Vids, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you guys 20 more brand new jailbreak tweaks compatible with iOS 10 all the way through to iOS 10.2. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy these tweaks. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So first up, we have App Center. And this tweak allows you to launch applications from and run applications inside of the Control Center. So if you just go ahead and open up the Control Center here, we could of course just swipe over to our normal music page. However, this tweak adds an additional page, and that's the App Center page. So here, it will display your recently launched applications. So basically any app that you recently opened. And from here, if you want to just go ahead and launch an application, just tap and hold on it, and it will launch the application normally, just like that. Now, you could also run applications directly within the Control Center. So if we just go ahead and single tap, what it's going to do is it's going to actually create a page in Control Center dedicated to this application that will, and basically that application will always be there. So as you can see right here, there's actually a page for the settings application. And of course, we could use the application inside this, smaller view. And again, wherever we are on our device, let's just say we're inside an application, let's just say clock, we could pull up the Control Center, and again, we could access the settings application from, anywhere on the device. And you can do this with multiple applications. You could just tap on another app, for example, Messages. And again, now that has its own individual page, and it's always accessible right within the Control Center. So very useful tweak. If you want to remove an application, from having a page, just tap on it again, and it will be removed. Simply, just like that. We'll do the same with settings, as you can see there. And you could also search for applications as well. So basically, if you want to go ahead and access an application that is not one of your recently opened apps, you could hit search and just search it. For example, YouTube, you can see it'll show up just like that. And you could do the same, gestures and actions with that application. Now, if we head over to settings, we could head over to the App Center settings, and in here you can enable or disable the tweak. You could also change the app page size, but a very powerful tweak. Once again, App Center, $2.99. Next, we have Falcon. This one's available for $1.49, and this tweak actually allows you to add different pages to your notification center and your lock screen. So, of course, normally we have the widgets page over here. We have the notifications page, or on the lock screen, it's just the lock page. But as you can see with this tweak, we have additional pages. We have a toggles page, which has tons of useful options, and it looks great as well. We have the respring power options, safe mode, reboot. We have a bunch of useful toggles right here in the middle. We have the brightness and volume slider. And if we slide again, we have a full-fledged web browser right here within the notification center. As you can see, it works very well. And we also have a notes page where we can put down memos and enter new ones just like that. So you can see the browser works great as well. Exactly as you'd expect. You could type in URLs and things of that nature. So it also works on the lock screen, and of course I'll also show you how to configure this as well. And once again, we have our normal lock page. Of course, you have the widgets over here. And if we swipe this way, of course, we have the toggles page, which I enabled, and again, I'll show you how to configure this in a second. We have our browser, of course, and of course we have the notes. Now, of course, on the lock screen, we have the camera as well, and as you can see here, that's just the last swipe, the way that I configured it. And I recommend you do the same, because if you have it so it's not the last swipe, it'll be a little bit difficult to kind of swipe past, just because it'll try to switch the camera modes there. But either way, let's go ahead and show you guys how to set it up. So if we head over to settings, we could go into Falcon. In here, of course, enable or disable the tweak. By the way, you could also enable basically so these toggles are not going to show up unless you scan it with Touch ID on the lock screen, which I do recommend just for privacy and people not doing stuff that you don't want. But you could go into the individual sections, notification center, on the lock screen, and basically you have the ability to rearrange the different pages, including the new ones that this tweak adds, and of course the default ones. You just drag them around like this, like so, and it's enabled. And of course, if you want to disable some, you could just drag it to disabled like that. But and once again, for the lock screen, I recommend that you keep camera at the last, so it just works the best that way. And of course, respring once you're done making all of your changes, just in case you didn't know that. And also, once again, you could enable or disable the tweak. But once again, Falcon, $1.49. Next, we have K's. This one's available for free, and this is the continuation of some of the features that OXO had, basically an older tweak, but again, now it's for iOS 10. So you get the quick switch, or basically you could drag up from the left side of the screen, and you have the ability to swipe through all your recently opened applications in this list, just like this, and it looks very nice. And of course, you can just release your finger on any app, and you're in that application. So it's a very quick app switcher, as the name suggests, just a quick way to switch between your applications. This tweak also provides an option that allows you to swipe up from the other side, the right side of the screen, to close an application just like that. And you could swipe, once you're on the home screen, you could swipe again to lock the device. And of course, the animations with this tweak are absolutely beautiful. Just pretty much everything, even when you're closing the application and locking the device, just has nice fading animations when doing those things. And the only thing that this tweak actually leaves out, from OXO, is the multi-center, which basically combined the app switcher and the control center. And that's basically because it's just kind of more complicated now, and it would be much more difficult. And basically, how there's multiple pages now in control center, it just makes more sense to keep those two options. And if we jump into settings on our device, we can head over to K's. In here, you could basically enable or disable the 2 components. You could also have it so you could access the app switcher with the quick switcher. If you just go ahead and keep swiping up like this, how it'll pop you into the app switcher. That's a good option to have. Very great animation as well. You could also invert the hot corner, so it just switches the functionality from right to left with these 2 options. You could also disable this from functioning in certain applications as well. But love this tweak called K's. EnableCCMute basically adds a mute toggle to the control center for all devices. So basically this is only available on iPads, but basically it just allows you to toggle, basically your ringer on and off without the use of the switch on the side of the device. So maybe if you just prefer to do this virtually, or maybe your switch is broken, maybe, again, there's something wrong with the hardware on your device, this is a very useful tweak to have and works very well. And of course, when you do go ahead and use the switch, you can see it actually activates the toggle as well, as it should. So great tweak, very simple and easy to use. Next, we have CCWallCustomizer. This one's free, and it actually allows you to add an image to the background of the control center, and it goes for an absolutely beautiful look, as you can see right here. So looks very great. And again, you could choose this image. I just have a nice wallpaper set, and of course it takes an effect for all the pages you can see right there, even with App Center installed, by the way. But if we go ahead and jump into settings, we can head over to CCWallCustomizer, make sure the tweak is enabled, and you can just go ahead and select pick an image. It'll just take you to your camera roll. You go ahead and choose the image, and you could choose basically the area that you want it to take an effect for. That's very nice. So of course you could see basically with the size of the control center what it's going to look like, and then just go ahead and once you choose that, you could just respring your device and it will take an effect. Now you could also remove the image right here if you want to do that, but there's been tweaks that have done this with earlier versions of iOS, and it's great to see one with iOS 10 compatibility. Notify Music basically will give you a notification when the song is changed. So if I just go ahead and change the song here, you can see I will get a notification just like that with the name of the song, the artist, and the album artwork as well. So that's definitely just a nice touch, when you're browsing your device and the song changes, or of course when you manually change it like I just did, it'll just give you that nice visual cue. Nougat folder will basically change the look of the folders to the look of the folders on Android Nougat. Basically the operating system for Android basically changes the preview. Now the previews are circular, and the way that the applications are displayed is different. I actually like it. It's a nice visual refresh. Of course, the actual folders themselves are the exact same, but again, the preview is different. Nice visual refresh. Swipe to clear notification 10 will allow you to dismiss notifications on the lock screen and a notification center just by swiping once to the left, as opposed to having to swipe and then click clear. So let me go ahead and show you guys here. We could just swipe once like this and it's dismissed. Just speeds up the process. Simple tweak, but very helpful. Eyeplugs is free, and it allows you to suppress banner notifications in certain applications. So you can basically have it so when you're inside a certain app on your device, banner notifications will be basically disabled. Now, when you exit that application, there's a feature that allows you to basically see what you've missed. So it'll basically catch you up. It'll say, hey, this is what you've missed. So let me go ahead and show you guys how this works. We're just going to jump into settings, and you can head over to the Eyeplugs preferences. Basically, you just select the applications or application. You could do multiple as well that you want to disable notifications within. So let's just choose the App Store, and let's just say calculator. So once we check our applications, there's also this, the summary notifications, send them is enabled. Basically that will again summarize what you missed. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and test this out. So I'm gonna send some messages from this phone over here to this phone with the tweak installed while we're inside the application. So let me go ahead and launch up the App Store, and we're gonna go ahead and send a iMessage to the phone saying hello. And you'll see there it says delivered, but we do not get the banner notification. We could keep sending different things, hey, hi, and again, no matter what, application, no matter what it is, it's not going to show up. However, when we go ahead and exit the application, you'll see what happens. So we get that banner just like that saying, while you were away, 3 notifications were sent from messages. So perfect tweak if you just want to be uninterrupted inside of certain apps. If we pull down the notification center, you can go ahead and see those notifications that we missed. You'll be able to view them all there. Once again, it's called Eyeplugs, available for free. Sonos is available for $1.99, and it moves the volume HUD from the middle of the screen to the status bar. Now, there's numerous tweaks that do this, but this is definitely the newest one that I've seen pop up in Cydia, and I really like the way that this one looks. There's also numerous options to configure, and again, just that, single, simple white bar filling up. It looks just so native, and it looks like it belongs there in iOS. And once again, lots of options to configure. If we jump into settings, Sonos, you could customize, numerous things. You have appearance customization, tons of options, size, position, extras, animation, experimental. So there's just a lot of options to configure in here. You could also reset it to default, but just something that Apple really needs to implement into iOS. I mean, why in 2017 do we still have the volume HUD in the middle of the screen? This just makes so much sense, so it's not going to interrupt the content on your device. Lock screen custom text iOS 10 allows you to change the press home to unlock text on the lock screen. Now, of course, in the past we've seen so many slide to unlock customization text tweaks, but now with iOS 10 that's changed with press home to unlock, and I don't believe there's too many out there that allow you to change that, so this is definitely a nice one for that. If you jump into settings, you can head over to the tweak, and in here it's very simple. Just enable it and type in whatever name you want to. And I'm just going to go ahead and type in my channel name here, Ultimate iDevice Vids. And once we do that, just jump to the lock screen, and you'll see when it says press home to unlock that it has your custom text. So there you go, Ultimate iDevice Vids. And once again, this one's available for free. Phone Tools allows you to customize various different options within the phone application. You can basically hide various tabs. You could basically just hide different types of calls, call logs, things of that nature. So if we jump into settings on our device, we could head over to Phone Tools. In here, you could basically just hide any of the tabs. So we have keypad, favorites, contacts, voicemail. Let's just hide voicemail and let's just say favorites. And again, there's the recent call log configuration. You could hide normal call logs, or you could hide third-party call logs, or FaceTime video logs. I guess the FaceTime video one makes sense because there's the own app for FaceTime. You could hide your favorite contacts and hide FaceTime contacts. You could also make it so there's no keypad sound. But let's just go ahead and respring with the options that we do have. We just hit a few of these. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So now when we jump into the phone application, you could see the tabs that we hid did go ahead and hide like so. ReformX is free, and it allows you to customize your home screen layout to a very high degree. So if we just go ahead and jump into the ReformX app, basically you could just go ahead and hit the enable switch, and you have various different areas to configure. You have dock, folders, home screen, miscellaneous, rotation, and you could also have presets as well if you want to save a layout. But let's just head over to a home screen, and you have things like home screen columns, rows, things like that. So you can basically just customize everything to your liking, the size of different things, how many rows, everything. So home screen columns, we'll change that to 5. You just hit the plus or minus. Home screen rows, we'll do, I don't know, let's just say 7. And once we go ahead and exit out, you'll see the changes taking effect. And there you go. You can see. Obviously, I don't have nearly as many apps as it would be required to fill all this. But again, you could fit much more applications with this type of setup. And again, this is the kind of customization that you could get with this tweak. Let's just head over to dock. Same type of thing. You could also hide the dock background, icon labels, just, this type of customization. And the icon labels looks like it didn't apply. So let's just go ahead and do a respring. I'm just going to use my 2 volume button at the same time gesture with activator to respring. And there you go, it took an effect. So once again, this is called ReformX, available for free. Customize your home screen. Next, we have TouchUnlock. This one's available for free, and this is a pretty simple tweak, but I absolutely love this. It's such a small thing, but I think it definitely has a nice effect. So basically, it's going to allow you to interact with your device before the unlock animation completes when you're, unlocking your device. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter the last digit of my passcode, and of course, the phone will unlock. And you'll see this animation that happens just like that. Normally, you have to wait till that completes before, swiping between the pages and just basically interacting with the home screen. So now with this tweak, again, you no longer have to wait. You could start swiping in the middle, and it'll interrupt it just to save some time. Now, so I'm just going to go ahead and enter it again, and you can see there while the animation is happening, I was able to interrupt it, swipe, and again, it was actually working and letting me interact mid-animation. And once again, we're just going to enter it in, and you can see we could start swiping immediately after it unlocks. Nest 10 allows you to make nested folders, so folders within folders. So if we go ahead and jump into a folder here, we could tap and hold. We could just drag, as you can see there, to make a folder. And again, you could have this within other folders. So you can see there, just like that. Once again, Nest 10 available for free. 9 folders allows you to get the style of iOS 9 folders back onto iOS 10. So basically, the look of it is different. As opposed to the entire, wallpaper being blurred, it's basically just the center, and the wallpaper is clear within the background. So you can see it resembles that. It looks very nice. And if you guys go into settings on your device and just scroll down to 9 folders, you could go in here. Of course, you can enable or disable the tweak. There's also a dark mode, which looks very nice. I'll show you that as well. We'll just hit apply changes to respring. And now you'll see we have this nice dark mode, just like that. But again, it still resembles that, feature of having the background not completely blurred. Once again, 9 folders. Simple LS iOS 10 basically brings a simplified lock screen view to your device. As you see right here, it basically just shifts the information on the lock screen over to the left side. So you have the time, the day, and of course the date. And this is actually very similar to the iPad view on the lock screen. It's kind of that same look, how it just kind of shifts it over. And in the description for the tweak, it is stated that more features will be added in the future. However, right now, this is what it looks like. And, you know, as of right now, with this version, a potential downside is it's in military time by default. But I'm sure there'll be a toggle at some point in the future, hopefully, that will allow us to, you know, change that. And this tweak definitely reminds me of Minitime, the MIUI theme. If you guys know what I'm talking about, it was an older tweak. But anyways, if we jump into settings, you can head over to Simple LS. You can enable it and just respring. Very nice design. BlurTouchClean will remove the blur when you 3D touch on icons. As you can see right here, we basically just have a non-blurry view like that. And it also just kind of presents a nicer animation, as you see right there. And again, it just provides definitely a different look to 3D touch. After you install the tweak, just jump into settings, head over to BlurTouchClean, just make sure it's enabled. No respring is even needed. TiltX basically provides the Photos application on iOS with an only look feature. So basically what that is, you know, let's say you hand your phone to someone to show them one photo and you don't want them swiping through all the photos on your device. This basically just allows you to display one photo on your, you know, phone and not have people be able to swipe. So just jump into any album, the camera roll does, you know, apply here, and just tap and hold on any photo from the grid view here. And you'll get this option, only look. If you tap on this, basically you're going to be getting this view just like this. And in this view, you could zoom in and out of the photo, you know, as you would expect. However, you can't swipe. As you can see right there, we cannot swipe between things. It says, please do not swipe. And if we just tap on the screen, it's not going to go anywhere. If you want to dismiss this, you're just going to want to double tap. Obviously, if you're concerned for your privacy, you're definitely not going to want to tell the person who has your device that that is the gesture, once again. Now, obviously, it's not completely really secure at all. Obviously, if someone really wanted to snoop, they could just double click the home button, kill the Photos app, go back in, and then, you know, then they could just go through all your photos. But again, I doubt that many people are going to go to that much trouble to snoop. It's just kind of, you know, is going to stop people from just instinctively doing that if you don't want them to. No options to configure. Once again, it's called TiltX. Great concept. Onion provides your control center with a refreshed look. It basically peels off one of the blur layers, giving all the components in control center this nice floating look. You can see there the dividers are gone, and it just looks much cleaner in my opinion. It's just a nice, very clean visual refresh to the control center. And once again, it's called Onion. It's available for free. No options to configure, just the visual refresh. But yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed these tweaks. If you did, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for many more videos pertaining to jailbreak tweaks. Also, make sure to follow the channel on Twitter and like it on Facebook. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.